All right, we're back here, and just want to give you a little bit of an update. It is the Soviet November turn, and it's early in the game. It's 1941 still. Getting ready to turn that calendar on over to 42, but it is the Soviet replacement phase. To give you a quick update, he's got another partisan added to him. I think he had one or two already in there. He hasn't used yet. Now those will mess with my rail movements if he wishes to employ. He hasn't really employed. He really hasn't had many available. I think he's had one during the game. Now he'll be able to start mobilizing those partisans. I think as it was historically, the shock value of the first. Well, how many months has it been? Started in what, June? Not really sure. June, July, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay, so they've been fighting for 6 months, and now the Russians took them that long, I guess, to get mobilized. Because now the scales are going to start to slowly change. And I think the advantage is to swing on over to the Russian side. I had my free way with the tanks versus the cavalry, and that's about as far as I got. But to get back at it, it is the Soviet replacement phase, and that's how many factors he'll get. One of those is off board, which is the 7, 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 factors. And the other one, those 9 factors, that 5.5, 4 is what he's got left on the board. Now those are subtracted by some of these cities I got here. Namely, you can see here with Moscow, that was worth 3 of his replacement factors. So getting those cities was a little bit of a dent in his replacement factors. He's going to start towering me with those replacement factors, and that's why I can't really take too many losses, because I can't replace those units. Another thing about his, though, when his units are eliminated, unless they're guard units or something, he really can't replace them. I can rebuild mine. He can't rebuild his. But he's got those replacement factors going on. And now I want to check and make sure that those off-board are still... because he got one factory off to the east of the Urals, I guess is what it would officially would have been. Do a little bit of housekeeping here. But let me get my card back, and we'll see what we're waiting on next. I guess we're still going to wait for his replacement phase. See his replacements are, then he'll get reinforcements, and that is when these guys will come. Now they're supposed to come in Moscow, and it's November, but they will be delayed because I own Moscow, and they won't be able to come on until next turn. I will see what these one here are coming. Oh, any. So from here on over, he'll be able to put those on right away. And plus, it looks like he's getting some good air units there, although I don't think they got much strength to them, but we'll see. We'll see how he employs it. Strategies are coming up. This is what we got. And waiting for some replacements. He'll be replacing some of these losses. I'm seeing some of these green markers underneath these things here. So to replace an air unit costs 2 factors. 2 factors for armor and any specialty unit. I think 1 for just infantry. That's what he's got. We'll be back. Let's find out what he does with them. All right, so its replacements are done. And I want to make a little note. After I've watched a few of my videos, one of the things I kind of gets my goat or pet peeve is my breathing. So I'm going to turn this microphone a little bit over a little bit to see. I'm not really a heavy breather, but boy, I'll tell you what. Or maybe it is. Maybe I am, and I just don't know it. But anyway, it's one of the things you find out. So I'm turning that microphone over because I'm not as labored as it sounds, or maybe I am, and I just don't know it. But anyway, we are back, and he has replaced all of his units, and I'm telling you what, there's a lot of replacements. That's one of the things that are going to be on his side, are those replacement factors coming in. Most of them were down here. He replaced all these units. On this little infantry front we got here, he's replaced a bunch of units there, and mostly all those hits he took on his last turn with that air support, that where he just pretty well sacrificed them. He replaced those air units. Here they are. They're down here though. There's a couple stacks, but he went through that. Nobody's got any lingering. We used them all, so he sucked them all up. I think there's a. He replaced that unit there, but maybe there's a couple of units up here that he didn't have enough for. So he wasn't able to replace all of his casualties. But boy, you can tell when the population comes on in, the vastness of the area, and the more of the population that is available for the armed forces really starts coming in on the Soviet side. So we are done with that. I'm going to see if I can get me some reinforcement moves tonight, and if I do, I will let you know. We'll be back. All right, we are back, and reinforcements have been placed. But like I said, his shock troops are going to have to wait for another turn to come in. They're going to have to wait for December. And accordingly, his other big old chunk of troops going into Moscow will be delayed until January. But these troops here, I believe, will be able to come on in. So he'll have some troops coming in next month too. These are, looks at his reinforcements. But he has replaced, or not hasn't replaced, but he's brought some reinforcements in. A couple of air units are available now. Replaced some of them down here. Now, good luck on this one. Let me look at this. Good luck on this one. Okay, here we go. The D silent Petrov. Oh, no, it's an N. Petrovs. I can't see if there's anything after that S, but there you go. It's where we put what we call it. We'll call it Propetrovs. We're calling it Propetrovs. So he brought the old air units down in old Propetrovs down there, and then it's along the Dnieper River. Okay, somebody can put that on the comments and pronunciations. Sorry about my Russian, if anybody's of the Russian descent. But he brought his air unit here, and his two available units that he was able to bring in and say hello to the first arrival of the Soviet shock troops. And here they are. They're there and they're ready to go. He's also brought in a infantry army. They ain't too shabby either, so here comes some good units. He brought them down there in Kiev to protect his factory, I guess. There's a factory there. So there you go. Not much for reinforcements, to be honest with you, but we'll see what he can do with it. Brought an air unit up there too in Leningrad. Maybe we got a little bit of a push to try to finish off the Finns. We will see. But they're coming in hot and heavy. Having fun here on a nice free night, and we'll be back. Some more Russian front updates. All right. Another thing in this game with Russian front is a lot of these rail movements, and after bringing on his reinforcements, he has wisely decided to, he has a 4 combat unit capacity that he can move by rail. Don't matter what kind of unit it is, infantry, mountain unit, armor, mechanized infantry, whatever. He could move up to 4 of them. Now he could use 3 of those factors to evacuate a factory, and that's what he did. Had a factory there in Kiev, and he's gotten that off the board. And he's also used rail movement to move this armor unit that's turned sideways. I think he was down around here somewhere and used it. So that will be his 4 unit rail capacity movement. And we will go now to special movements, where he will non-phasing movement step. We'll see what that entails. It's been a month since I played, so I have to look all this stuff up. But we're on a special movement combat phase. I think that's where you could do paradrops and amphibious landings. I'll have to check out, see if he employs any of that. But that's about it. We'll be back. All right, we're back real quick, and like I said, it's been a while, but it's all here. We got it all down here during the special movement phase. And these are the optional rules, and we're using most of the optional rules here. But during the special movement phase, you have a bunch of options. I think there's like four. One of them's air supply. The other one's naval transport, amphibious landings, marine amphibious landings, and or paratrooper drop. So we will see if the Russian will utilize any of those. The Russian player is the only one that's available for the paratrooper drops and the marine amphibious landings. The German player hasn't. The Germans didn't have that capacity at that time, so according to the rules, the Russian player is the only one that can use those special movements. We'll see if my opponent does. We'll be back. Hello, we are back, and it is. Let me get over here. Give you a little zoom in on the sequence of play. It's the Russian turn. He didn't make any special movements or anything, so we're down here to the converting oil field step. There's no oil fields to be converted. But I did remind him that he had one replacement factor coming for that one oil field he's got down here. And where the heck is that thing? All the way down here somewhere. Oh, here you go. So he was able to get one more replacement factor and replaced a factor up here. But it is now on to the round movement phase. And here is what he did. And ain't much. All the units turned sideways again are the ones that just moved in this phase. So you can see he kind of went up there, didn't initiate no combats for Romania yet. Trying to keep everybody in supply. Oh, and that's another thing. He missed an out of supply unit, but I'll keep you up to date on that. But nothing really happened here. Up along this front, he is solidifying there in the swamp. Now, I don't think he had enough moves to interfere with my railroad conversions or railroad supply lines. Like that Pripyat marshes, the swamps pretty well did its job, and it took him 3 movement points to get through that stuff. So there you go. You see what he pulled over there. Over here, getting a little bit more interesting. He did initiate a battle. There you go, battle number 1 against my 47th Panzer, I guess. Nice little unit there. It's a one-on-one unless he's got his air units around, so he'll probably be wanting to support him. But we do have a battle there, and also you can see a nice little strategy he's got. Just split up his little forces and surround me. So I'm gonna have to rescue that unit. But there's his movement. He's got his cavalry in the marshes. That helps with the movement point. They're a little bit more mobile in there. But nothing really major going on. He's only got a couple of attacks. There's some more movements he's done. What else did he do? He did move his shock troops out. But they couldn't get to the battle yet. They didn't have enough movement factors, so that's about where they're at. But the shock troops did come out. And just solidifying his lines, it looks like. Let's see what else happens over here. Not much. Again, not much, but there is a push up north. I moved his units out of Tallinn and headed them down south. He moved them more than their movement factor, so I'm taking it he used strategic movement. Using his units, keeping them on the rail lines, but he can't enter my zone of control, so he had to unload them there before they can go into combat. Up here, another battle raging, and this will be a big one here against the Finns. And there you go. That'll be a one-on-one battle, unless he can bring in some naval or air support, which is probably what he's got on his mind. But you can see how once the units are, what we do here is we initiate battle. So once the unit's in battle, it has no zones of control. So what you do is you initiate battle, then you start moving. So he went ahead and moved all these units on up here. Didn't have enough to get to my little city there. But yeah, there's something brewing up north. Trying to take the Finns out of the game. And that's about it. I'll make this an upload. I'll go through some vlogs today if we have some time and see what goes on. I do want to put some of these casualties back. I got these casualties here I've had back. That's from when we ceased to play about a month ago. You can see some of his casualties. I like to get these casualties back. So what I've been doing is placing them back when they go in the battle card, although when the game's over with, they'll all go back in a box. I don't know why I do that. What would be nice if these things were magnetized and they could stay here on these cards. So when you're ready to play, you got the thing all set up, because believe me, it takes about a half a day to set those things up, at least for me. I'm kind of a slow dude. Ain't too quick on the get-go, but there we go. There's a push back. Look at the map. I might call this an upload and go on to YouTube. All right, back with the quick update before I throw this thing to upload. I had to make a correction to my opponent's moves, and namely these guys here using their strategic movement. Can't use strategic movement, my friend, because these are not your rail lines. So we're going to have him pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll probably just move back 1. But I just wanted to implode it. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and do what he's probably going to do right there. But yeah, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to begin your turn on a rail line to use that strategic movement. And he did, but unfortunately, I got 3 hexes there. You can't see it. The one with the flotilla has got a rail line converted there also. So he's got to spend 2 movement points instead of my 1 to convert them back. And another thing I wanted to show you down here was there was a unit that was out of supply. Oh, let's zoom on in. This unit here up underneath the cavalry unit was out of supply right here. So he just moved into supply. I got a little out of supply marker, but he was able to move on out. I believe he'll be in supply on the next check. But that is a corrected version, and we are ready for some combat. We'll be back with that for the next upload on this killer. Having a great time with the oldie but goodie, Avalon Hill. We might stop this in the springtime. What do you call it? Victory check. I think there's a victory checkpoint that comes up next, and well, it don't come up again until May. Maybe that's it. But we'll see. We'll see how long we want to play, because we got some new games coming in, and we want to check those on out. And but for now, we are really enjoying Russian Front. But so far, it's a Russian victory. So we'll be back.